नमस्कार दोस्तों. Today I am going to tell about the teachings of Lord Buddha, Gautam Buddha. You must have heard about Lord Buddha. He became around 2500 years ago in Indian subcontinent in North India. He was born in Lumbini, which is in Nepal, but most of his life was spent here in India, especially near Varanasi and some parts of Bihar. So, why Buddha was so famous and how his religion spread throughout the world? And today, you go any part of the world, anywhere in any country, you will find Buddhist people there. And Buddhist people are also considered as one of the very peaceful people and one of the very compassionate people who always have good faith on all the good virtues, and they believe that humanity is the biggest goal of their life. So, what were the teachings of Buddha which were different from the contemporary teachings of that time, which were famous in India at that time? Okay, so that time in India there was Sanatan Dharma, you know that, and Sanatan Dharma had Varna system, and further it converted into caste system, in which many of the people were not given sufficient rights, social rights, political rights, economic rights, different kinds of rights were not given to some strata of the people, because the upper strata of the people had all kinds of rights, but lower strata of society did not have those rights. So Buddha actually was not in favor of that system, but it was his social thinking. Okay, it was not his spiritual thinking. Okay, whatever his spiritual thoughts are completely different whatever he thought socially. Okay, his social thoughts are comprised of equality and compassion and helping poor and giving assistance to anyone who is deprived or who is in distress. So this kind of thought given by Buddha is actually his social thought. Okay, if we talk about his spiritual thoughts, then it is completely different, and it is almost as same as you study in Sankhya and Yoga philosophy. Okay, most of the things he had said actually were already being said, but Buddha actually said all those things in a very systematic way, and he did not take any help of any god. He did not create any fear of God, that God will punish you if you do not follow the rules. Okay, so he said everything in a very systematic, in a very scientific way, and he said that if you do not follow them, you are actually doing sin to yourself, not to the others. Okay, because doing sin to yourself means you are not trying to understand the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth which is inside you. Okay, so this was the real teaching of Buddha, and at that level of teaching there were no other kinds of social, political or different thoughts. Okay, and he himself said that once you completely abandon or give up all these kind of thoughts, and once your mind is in complete full peace, once your mind do not have any kind of disturbance, once your mind do not have any kind of wave, okay, then you will be able to understand what the ultimate reality is. So his teachings to know the ultimate truth, which is also called Arya Satya, is based upon the philosophy that human mind is erroneous. Human mind is the cause of all kind of distress, all kind of sadness, all kind of sorrows a human is bringing into his life. So why he said that? First, he said that जीवन दुखमय है. Okay, iti dukham. That means there is sorrow in life. There is perpetual and permanent sorrow in life, and this sorrow, this sadness, this distress cannot be eradicated by any means, any physical means or material means available in this world. So what was his thought? What was his way to eradicate this distress, this sorrow? Then he said that only knowledge, only achievement of ultimate truth, only realization of ultimate truth can give you, can liberate you from this kind of bondage and this kind of distress. Okay, so if you want to get out of this sorrow, if you want to get rid of this sorrow, you must follow the path of Buddha. You must follow the path following which you can reach to that ultimate truth. You can reach to the Arya Satya. So what is Arya Satya? So Buddha says that Arya Satya is a state of mind, and you should say it is also not the state of mind, because mind completely disappears there. There is no mind there. Okay, so it is beyond mind. So Buddha says that it is the state of existence, or it is the state of being where there is permanent peace, where there is no any disturbance in the mind, there is no any thought, and there is nothing in the mind, there is nothing in actually, I should better say that the desire, the human desire to get anything, to achieve anything, to acquire anything in his life, in this material world, creates all kinds of bondage, creates all kinds of sorrow in his life. So once a person understands that his desire comes from his ego, and his ego is actually very inherent, which has come from not only by birth, which has actually come from the different past births, different past lives. Okay, so this ego actually confines your Atma. This ego actually confines your mind. This ego confines your all virtues, and this ego corrupts you, and this corruption ultimately leads you to have different kinds of desire, and these desires ultimately kill you. Why I'm saying kill you? Because these desires force you to invest all your energy on those things which are completely futile, which are completely useless in your life. But you think that they are the most important in your life. And once you consider the futile as the most important, and you consider the most important as the futile, then the whole agony of life starts from here. Then the whole erroneous life starts from here. Therefore, Buddha himself first abandoned all his desires. He abandoned, gave up all the properties and all the favors and everything which he had in his life. So he left everything back, okay, in his home, and he went to jungle, and he did a very intense penance there. After that, he also felt that the intense penance actually does not provide you, does not give you that kind of knowledge. So he took Madhyam Marg, okay, the medium path, where he said that medium path means that you should not tighten the string so much that the string breaks. Okay, so you must tighten the string up to the extent where the string produces sounds in the best way. Okay, so it should not be loosened, or it should not be very much tightened. It should be very moderately tightened. Okay, only then it will produce the best sound. Otherwise it will not produce sound, it will break, and it will be useless for everything. because there will be no purpose of fasting in that case. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the teachings of Buddha, and in my next session I will tell you about some verses of Dhammapada, that how Buddha actually gave his way, how Buddha actually described his way, how Buddha actually told the people of this world that you and your desires are the reason of your sorrow, are the reasons of your distress. Okay, so uh, till the next time, for the next time, remember all my advices and whatever I say. So तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, नमो बुद्धाय।